Vergangenes Jahr hat er einen eigenen Stern in Hollywood auf dem Walk of Fame bekommen und mittlerweile hat er auch sein 25. Bühnenjubiläum. Bekannt geworden ist er als Gitarrist von Guns N' Roses. Bei mir ist jetzt Slash. Hello, nice to meet you. Welcome. How are the kids and family? All is good?
They're all good. I'm sort of missing them. I haven't seen them in about a month at this point, but they're doing well.
That's what I think. I mean, being on tour, is it hard for you without the kids and stuff?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's one of these things that you have to sort of get used to, but there's no denying that when you're gone after a couple of weeks, you start missing them. So I tour for a month, I come home, then I take off again. But now it's starting to slow down because we've been touring for about a year now. And we're going to finish this tour. We're playing in Germany, and then we're doing a couple of UK dates, and then I'll go home for a couple months, and then we'll go do Asia in May, and then I'll be back home for a couple of months. And so it's slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, you're now in Bremen. It's your only concert in Germany. Why did you choose lovely Bremen?
You know what? To tell you the truth, I don't have the exact answer for that. I mean, we played a couple dates around Germany, and this is one of the great rock sort of destinations, which it is. So we thought, okay, well, let's do Bremen because we know we have a great audience there. And actually, I was thinking that we hadn't played here before, but apparently we had. I think 93. But wasn't that Mannheim? Isn't that near? No, somewhere.
Maybe for an American it's near. I mean, you're American now, sort of, but it's not that near, actually, not that close.
I'm terrible. My geographical skills are sub-zero. Substandard, I want to say sub-zero. That's pretty bad.
I mean, you've been here with Guns N' Roses, of course, in 93, so you don't remember anything really about Bremen?
Well, I mean, it was a stadium gig. Whenever you're doing a stadium tour, you don't really take in much of anything. You go straight to the stadium. It's usually in the middle of nowhere, and that's basically it. So you don't get a lot, like this particular gig, we're staying in the city and you get a chance to get some identity with the place. But stadium tours are just like, it's just one stadium after the other. They all look the same. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, ours is pretty nice actually. But anyway. You just said it was in a stadium, and I mean that is like 40,000 people. And in Rio, for example, you played in front of 140,000 people. Now you're playing about in like 44,000 people. Is that something different? Is it something you're missing?
Well, the thing about playing in, we do somewhere between 3,000 to 8,000. To me, is great because it's a big crowd, but it's intimate. When you start getting into like when we do festival dates and stuff. It's great to be received by that large an audience, but at the same time, there's something very sort of impersonal about it because it's this vast crowd that you really can't even see, and it's wide open spaces. So it's a little bit different. I like to mix it up. I always like to make sure if we're doing a bunch of festivals, even if we're headlining, we have theater dates in there, so I can sort of have that feeling of interaction. That's really important.
Now you're playing with Myles and the Conspirators. How did that all start?
That's a long story. It all started when I did that solo record in 2010, and I was looking for somebody to sing a couple songs, and Myles was in the news, something having to do with Led Zeppelin, and I thought, I've been hearing about him, I should check him out. And I asked him to sing a couple songs, and they were great, and then I thought, man, he could probably sing all the material that I'm doing for this tour that I'm going to do to support the record. So we signed on to do the tour, and we just had this great relationship, and then we started writing together, and Brent Fitz and Todd Kearns as well. It just turned into a pickup band that turned into something really great. So we're working on the next one now.
And who's mainly doing the songs? Is it you, or is it with Myles, or with the others together?
It's pretty much just Myles and I sort of get the nucleus of the song going. And then when we get into pre-production, and Brent and Todd have at it, and so Myles and I write the initial songs, but we let those guys do whatever comes to mind for their own parts.
And I have to look it up. It's No More Heroes is special to you. This song on your new album, Apocalyptic Love. Why is that a special song for you?
Oh well, I mean, it's not significant because of. The lyrics or the subject of the song. It was just one of those really early collaborations that Myles and I did, where I'd written a piece of music and then he came up with an idea for another piece of music, and they worked together seamlessly. And it was really the first real idea I had of the possibilities with working with Myles. So
that is why it's special, right? With Myles and the Conspirators, is it something you think it could be something permanent, and then it's sort of a competition to Alter Bridge?
No, I don't want to look at it like that. I mean, we're definitely going to do another record, and there'll be another tour. With Alter Bridge, I sort of like the fact that Myles has Alter Bridge. It sort of takes the pressure off this being the one and only goal in life, you know, and you know, we managed to sort of juggle schedules so that it works. The only problem is Myles hasn't had a day off in like 3 years.
That's not much.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely see this as an ongoing thing. We all get along way too well, and we have too good a chemistry to sort of like do a one record thing. You know?
You're real mates?
Yeah, we get on great.
And is it something, would you have the energy to do something big as Guns N' Roses has been?
Like you know, that's one of those things. If the opportunity presents itself, I suppose you confront it then. Or you know, right now we're just sort of escalating. It's been nice and steady, and I sort of, after all the experiences that I've had, I've learned a lot, and there's things that I don't want to do from past experiences. So I mean, I want to keep it like we've been playing arenas now, which is really nice. So we're headlining some arenas, and I've found that I'd rather play multiple dates in a smaller venue than play arenas, just because of that same thing I brought up earlier. We'll see if that's possible, but.
How much Guns N' Roses is still in your songs and your music?
Just the 1/5 that was me.
And you looking back, and you still look. Was a good time.
It was good to a point. It was great. I mean, it was really as cool as anything could possibly ever be in a rock and roll band, and with a certain bunch of guys from its inception up until about the 90s. Then when the band got really huge, then it was you know, it was a great opportunities, but there was a lot of other issues that were just insurmountable, and you know, and it was a long time ago at this point, but definitely in its heyday, it was the coolest fucking thing ever. Yeah.
Excellent. So many people know you, of course, from Guns N' Roses. You're an outstanding guitar player, second best player I've heard in the world. Blimey, or not? Is it amazing?
That's definitely that's not true. It was something misprint or something. But I'm having a blast. You know, I'm really glad to be doing what it is that I really love to be doing, and being able to keep it going. So it's been great.
Do you see yourself as a role model?
I tried not to. I mean, I some people have used that moniker for me, but I don't consider myself a role model per se, and I don't like to advocate that I would want to be a role model. It's flattering if somebody would, you know, but I mean, with me, it's like role model. Yeah, it comes with warts and all, you know.
Okay. So. People coming and know you from Guns N' Roses, of course, know you from Velvet Revolver and all other projects. But tonight, or in your shows, will you play some songs of that old time?
We play a couple Gun songs in the set. We've been playing a lot of them. Like Todd sings a couple of them, so we added 2 songs into the set, which is sort of cool. But the majority of it is stuff off the new record, because it's doing really well and everybody seems to like it, so we get away with it. But we do some Velvet stuff, or at least 1 song, sometimes 2. We change the set usually every day. So
as you go along.
Yeah.
What can the people expect?
Well, I mean, this is Bremen, so it's going to be it's just a rockin'. The crowd here is going to be killer. We're going to be really energized. It's just going to be a really good time.
What is the difference to the end of the 80s and early 90s, with all the drugs and drunk? What is different now?
For me personally, the only thing that has changed since the 90s for me is I'm not using. I don't have that sort of weight on my shoulders, and that's actually been really great. So this has been probably the best professional period of my entire Well, except for the the 80s, because that was just innocently great fun. And then, of course, over the years, it turned into a lot of addictions, a lot of issues I had to deal with. And eventually I managed to get past all that and was really motivated by music. So that's changed, but everything else is the same, as far as what it is that I do. The rest of the business is, I don't know what the fuck's going on with it, but
many start believing in God, many start doing sports. How did you overcome your addiction? Doing BMX again?
No, it was just music. That was it. That's what I was getting at. Fortunately, music wasn't motivated. Like, I didn't use drugs to find my inspiration, so it was just partying for me. And then I just did it until I really couldn't do it anymore. It was just not going. I wasn't getting anything out of it. And so when I quit, it was a lot of it was professional reasons, a lot of it was family reasons, whatever, and personal. I didn't want to be a slave to anything, and so I just put all that energy into music, and I've been really busy ever since.
What do you do shortly before you go on stage? Is there any ritual, or is it just, hey ho, let's go?
There's not really a ritual. I mean, I try and play the guitar there's nothing else to do, so I play the guitar pretty much all the way up until showtime. That's about just chill.
Like, you play the guitar before and then afterwards on stage, and then what you do when the show is done?
Get on the bus and go to the next city and do it again.
Excellent. You're born in England. You lived in Stoke-on-Trent, a little town. What is still inside you? What is English?
I probably there's a lot of different things. There's a certain kind of I don't know. I think it's probably in your blood, but there's a certain kind of British spirit that I really sort of feel like is really strong with me, because whenever I go there, I feel really at home and I feel very comfortable, and I just I love my family over there, and I love playing there and all that kind of stuff. So it's just sort of British patriotism.
What is typical English for you?
What is typical English for me? What do you mean?
Something traditional, something you think, oh yeah, I have to do that when I'm in England, like eating fish and chips, for example.
Well, yeah, it's an English breakfast is the most important one. That's my favorite sort of traditional English thing, or bangers and mash later or something like that. But yeah, English food, I think I have a craving for all the time. And near my house, there's a little British shop that I buy stuff from, so I get Walker's crisps from there and HP sauce and whatnot.
Excellent. I've got something for you, a little experiment. You have to say if you want to do it or not. But what do you think of the very English tradition, Marmite?
That never really flew with me.
Have you ever tried it?
Yes, I have tried.
So we don't have to try it now and see your funny face?
No, we don't need to go there.
Excellent. So we don't have to do the Marmite things. So what can the fans expect from you in the future without eating Marmite and anything?
The most important thing right now is focus. Well, I have a movie coming out that I produce, which is coming out this year, which came out amazing.
It's a horror movie or not?
Horror movie. So that's coming out. But really, it comes out. We're trying to figure out exactly what the release date's going to be. So it'll probably be summer or early fall. And then the other thing is getting another, Conspirators record together, and it's sounding really awesome what we have so far. So that's basically it for now.
Excellent. We wish you more success. Again, thank you very much for talking to me and take your time. Thank you very much. That was Slash. Das war Slash von ehemals Guns N' Roses, aber natürlich sehr erfolgreich als Solokünstler. Und vielen Dank. I think I read like a bloody tomato. It's so warm in here.
I know. I
excellent. Thank you so much. Can we get a photo or something?
Yeah, sure.
Same old, same old.